8:30 a.m. Malaysia time, and we will start the conference in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum, Selamat Pagi, Sawadika, Tajahau, greetings and welcome to all the participants and guest speakers from all around the world to the International Conference on Educational Leadership and Asian Culture 2023. We are here today for the sole purpose of exploring educational leadership in Asian culture. My name is Afza, and I will be your MC today. For your information, the International Conference of Educational Leadership and Asian Culture is a joint effort by the University of Manitoba, Universiti Sains Malaysia, and Hong Kong Polytechnic University. The conference aims to bring together the great minds in educational leadership and make way for their ideas to spread across the globe. It is our hope that everyone who participates will benefit immensely from this conference. Today, we are delighted to welcome the organizers, Professor Jan Stewart, the Dean of Faculty of Education from the University of Manitoba, Associate Professor Dr. Rahimiche Aman, the Dean of School of Educational Studies from Universiti Sains Malaysia, and Associate Vice President of Undergraduate Program from the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. In this conference, we are incredibly honored to have two special guests, the Education and Cultural Attaché from the Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia in Malaysia, His Excellency Professor Dr. Muhammad Firdaus, and Professor Emeritus Bruce Barnett from University of Texas in San Antonio. And it is also our great pleasure to have our keynote speaker, Professor Ruth Hayhoe from OIC, University of Toronto, Canada. In this conference, we also invited 12 speakers from 10 countries. Associate Professor Dr. Peng Liu from University of Manitoba, Associate Professor Dr. Jonathan Wee Pin Goh from Nanyang Technological University, and Dr. Xiao Fei Chen from South China Normal University. In addition, we have Associate Professor Dr. Wahid Hamad from Sultan Qaboos University, Dr. Bambang Sumintono from Universitas Islam Internasional Indonesia, Dr. Ahmed Mohammed from the Maldives National University. Joining us today, we have Associate Professor Dr. Cheng Yong Tan from the University of Hong Kong, Associate Professor Dr. Lei Mi Tian from Universiti Sains Malaysia, and Dr. Donnie Adams from University Malaya. Together with us today, Professor Masaki Katsuno from University of Tokyo, Professor Huan Song from Beijing Normal University, and Professor Elmina Kazimzadeh from Baku State University, Azerbaijan. For your information, as of now, we currently have 571 registered participants from 31 countries, including that of Antigua, Australia, Azerbaijan, Brunei Darussalam, Cambodia, Canada, China, England, Ethiopia, Ghana, Hong Kong, India, Indonesia, Iran, Jordan, Kuwait, Libya, Malaysia, Maldives, New Zealand, Nigeria, Pakistan, Philippines, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, South Korea, Singapore, Spain, Thailand, United Arab Emirates, and the United States. Thank you all for being here today, and I am humbly honored to welcome everyone to ICELAC 2023. Without further ado, let us now invite Professor Jan Stewart from the University of Manitoba to deliver her welcoming speech. The stage is yours, Professor Jan.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to be here with you here today to provide opening remarks for the International Conference on Educational Leadership and Asian Culture. I've just begun my term as Dean of the Faculty of Education at the University of Manitoba just this week, and I'm very happy that my first official duty as Dean is to welcome you all to this timely and much needed conference. I would first like to extend a welcome to our honored guests who are with us today. His Excellency, Dr. Muhammad Firdaus, the Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to the Republic of Malaysia, Professor Rahamini Syaman, Dean of Education at the Universiti, Sains Malaysia, Professor Daniel Sheck, the Associate Vice President, Undergraduate Programs in Hong Kong Polytechnic University, Professor Ruth Kehoe, and Professor from over 31 countries. We welcome you and thank you for taking part in these important discussions today. And this conference would not be possible without the dedication and diligence of the conference organization committee led by Dr. Lee Mithian in Universiti, Sains Malaysia, and Dr. Pang Liu from the University of Manitoba. Thank you all for your important contributions and generosity. I would also like to thank Professor Rahamini Syaman, Dean of Education at the Universiti, Sains Malaysia, and Professor Daniel Sheck, the Associate Vice President of the Graduate Programs in Hong Kong Polytechnics, for their partnership and collaboration in putting this important conference together. The University of Manitoba's mission is to create, preserve, communicate, and apply knowledge, contributing to the cultural, social, and economic well-being. Our Faculty of Education is deeply committed to decolonization and anti-racism initiatives, and we strive to make systemic change towards a more equitable, diverse, and inclusive society. We endeavor to achieve a fair world, and we are committed to leading transformational change in our educational systems. This is why we are proud to be one of the co-hosts for the first ever international conference about educational leadership and Asian culture. It is time to examine educational leadership from non-Western worldviews, and more importantly, to explore cultural values and how these have enhanced our understanding of school leadership. Our world is becoming increasingly more interconnected. It's essential that educational leaders expand their perspectives of knowledge and leadership through the exploration of the study of leadership beyond the Western perspective. Our Faculty of Education is also becoming more international, and it's essential that we recognize that internationalization creates new knowledge about spaces for learning. We must also foster intercultural understanding and develop new opportunities for global engagement and partnerships. We need to learn more about Indigenous teachings and knowledge to better inform our work. We need to support reconciliation through the deliberate inclusion of Indigenous perspectives in teaching, leadership, research, and scholarship. We also need to broaden our understanding of different methodologies and perspectives and create more opportunities to collaborate. It is time to think differently about how we do our work and the way we do our work, and we must consider the new perspectives and epistemologies that expand our thinking and enhance our work in education. I wish you all the very best experience for this conference. Thank you for inviting me here to be with you for this groundbreaking conference. On behalf of the University of Manitoba and the Faculty of Education, thank you all for your commitment to this important work. Enjoy the conference.
Thank you, Professor Jen Stewart, for your inspirational speech. Next, we would like to invite Associate Professor Dr. Rahimi Syaman from Universiti Sains Malaysia to say a few words. Please welcome.
Thank you, our moderator, for MC for today. And all right, okay, hold on. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to everyone. The Dean of the Faculty of Education, University of Manitoba, Prof. Jen Stewart, Associate Vice President of the Undergraduate Program of the Hong Kong Polytechnic University, Professor Daniel Tan Lee Sheck, Honorable Keynote Speaker, Professor Dr. Ruth Hay Ho from the Ontario Institute for Studies in Education, University Toronto, Canada. Our book author, Associate Professor Dr. Peng Liu from the Faculty of Education, University Manitoba, Canada, and our Associate Professor Dr. Lee Mei Tian from the School of Educational Studies, University Sains, Malaysia, esteemed speaker and moderator, fellow researcher, student, and participant. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure and honor that I have stand here before you today as a Dean of the School of Educational Studies of the University Sains Malaysia, representing our esteemed institution at the opening ceremony of the International Conference on Educational Leadership and Asian Culture 2023. This gathering makes significant milestone in our academic pursuit of understanding intricate relationship between leadership and culture, particularly within the Asian context. However, we know it's all over the world from the 31 countries. We welcome you all. Ladies and gentlemen, leadership as we know is not just a universal concept, but a culture phenomenon. Asian, a diverse continent, which rich with tradition and belief, offer many unique perspectives on leadership. However, when it comes to the realm of education, there has been a notable gap in scholarly conversation on educational leadership from Asian culture standpoint. This knowledge gap has sparked a new direction of research, one that seeks to explore how educational leadership manifests within the context of Asian culture. Ladies and gentlemen, the primary objective of this conference is to share and disseminate knowledge on the phenomenon of educational leadership from the Chinese, Islamic, Southeast Asian, and social cultures perspective. By doing so, we hope to contribute to the theoretical development of educational leadership across diverse Asian cultures. Throughout this conference, we aim to firstly provide a deeper understanding of educational leadership from the perspective of Chinese, Islamic, Southeast Asian, and social culture contexts. Secondly, we want to provide a platform for international and local educational researchers to exchange knowledge and share ideas on educational leadership and Asian culture. And thirdly, provide an informative input that will widen the scope for future studies in the context of educational leadership and culture, particularly in Asian countries. And as a conclusion, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the distinguished organizers, speakers, and participants who have come together to make this conference a reality. Let us embark to an intellectual journey together to learn, collaborate, and create new knowledge that will shape the future of educational leadership within the vibrant tapestry of the Asian culture. In the words of Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I hereby extend my best wishes for the resounding success of this International Conference 2023. Thank you so much and welcome to our conference.
Thank you very much, Associate Professor Dr. Rahimi, for your passionate speech. Our next speech will be given by Professor Dr. Daniel Tan Lei Shek from Hong Kong Polytechnic University. Professor Dr. Daniel, please welcome.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Dear colleagues, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I think that is the wonder of technology, so that we can see each other throughout the world. I'm very pleased to know that there are more than 571 participants from 31 countries. So as a start, I must congratulate the organizers for bringing this very successful conference. I'm pleased to give some opening remarks here. To me, this conference is very important for several reasons. Now, the first, it covers the issue of leadership. Now, of course, everybody talks about leadership. The leadership is so important that because without good leadership, actually any organization, community, or even country will get into deep trouble. And it is not difficult for us to see that in the past few decades, many Asian political leaders, they stepped down because of leadership problem, or to be more precise, ethical problems. The recent cases, forgive me to give these examples, are the Parliament Speaker and Transport Minister of Singapore. If we look further other countries, we see the former presidents of South Korea and even Taiwan, they have been arrested because of corruption problem. So leadership actually is the key to the success of any organization, university, community, and country, even the world. I think we need good global leaders to lead the world so that we will not go into war, or we can have better solution for the global climate problems. Now, the second reason why this conference is important is that it deals with educational leadership. My feeling is leadership is kind of service. And in fact, the world is transforming from a manufacturing economy to service economy. I've been doing research in the area of service leadership in the past decade. And together with the former CEO of DHL International, Dr. Po Chung. And Po Chung's theory is that a good service leader has three characteristics: competence, character, and care. Now, many theories of leadership talk about competence. No doubt about that. A good leader must be competent. But besides that, having competence alone is not enough. We need two other C's. The first one is character. A good education leader must have good character and also a sense of care. So if a leader only concerned about his own track record, profit, without considering the welfare of the followers, without considering the welfare of the community or those the service recipients, then he or she is a very dangerous leader. So the second reason this conference is important because we talk about educational leadership from different perspectives. And I think in Chinese culture, we talk about character a lot, and also in Muslim tradition. So these are very important insights for us to think about. A good leader is not just one who has competence, but also has good character as well as a sense of care. Now, the final reason why this conference is important is that it focuses on Asian culture. Now, when we talk about psychology, social sciences, education, we always say that, okay, most of the theories are Western initiatives. And the research has been commonly criticized as weird research. That is, we tend to recruit subjects who are white, educated, industrialized, rich, and democratic. So besides the Western perspective, I think it is very important for us to have an alternative input from Asian culture. And when I look at the program, I understand that we'll learn more about how Confucius look at educational leadership from Buddhist perspective and also from the Taoist perspective. That is from Chinese. And I also realized that we will learn something from Muslim, which is also very important because it offers another perspective, saying to us what should be the qualities of a good leader. So to me, the conference is important both academically and professionally, so that we can have a more balanced and more comprehensive view about leadership. Now, of course, another importance of the conference is the book launching ceremony by the book editors and the book editors' talking points. I'm confident that we'll learn much from that, from the book entitled Educational Leadership and Asian Culture, Culturally Sensitive Leadership Practice by a very famous publisher. So in closing, I would like to see that the conference will proceed successfully, and I'm confident that it will be the case. And it is my sincere wish that we can get the most out of this conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Daniel, for your words of wisdom. As of now, we shall wait for His Excellency, Professor Dr. Muhammad Firdaus. And while we wait, we will move on to the next section. Is he here? Okay. While we wait for him, let us watch a cultural video provided by the organizers.
ya? Fotonya ya? Fotonya kok nggak ada? Mana suruh pulang besok?
Ladies and gentlemen, now let us invite His Excellency Professor Dr. Muhammad Firdaus, the Education and Cultural Attaché from the Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia in Malaysia, to deliver his speech. Having His Excellency here in this conference hopefully can encourage bilateral relations, friendships, and Asian cultural exchanges across the countries. As an Asian leader, his thoughts and experience will serve as valuable knowledge to our participants. Please welcome His Excellency Professor Dr. Muhammad Firdaus. Ladies and gentlemen, as we know, guest speakers can sometimes face unforeseen circumstances. While we wait for His Excellency to join in, feel free to enjoy the videos prepared by the organizers. Thank you.